Spend enough time with wisdom and your understanding will become in itself deep wells. Spend enough time with knowledge and information and your understanding will become a master of what it didn't know. It will become a master of what it knows. And that master in himself will then become the teacher of what he knows or she knows. When we start out, we have a certain set of tools and skills and a certain level of mindset and language. And the person who's introducing to us the place we need to go here, he's using a certain level of skills, knowledge, and language too. And I take this from observing me. Then the language he uses is foreign to me. It's foreign to me. I'm being real honest. It's foreign to me, but I want to go there. And I don't realize that means when I get there, my language is going to be like his. And then I'm going to understand why he said what he said. You follow? So when a person's telling you something, well, because they're already there and you're here and you're listening, I don't get that, you say. And you might ditch it, you might disregard that thought. But I think that someone with credibility who tells you something, and when they emphasize something, you pay high attention to it. You give it priority. Because even if you don't understand it, you make a mental note of it, you document it, you revisit that thought, and you ask yourself, what did they really mean by that? That's where some of your questions can come from that. Because some people don't know how to develop questions as they might think in themselves. But the truth is, we all have questions. I might start a question with, oh, where's the kitchen? That's a question. Oh, what do I need to do next? That's a question. A question then, of course, leads to an answer. And if it's the wrong question, then I have to change the question to get to the next answer. Then from that answer, then I ask a new question that leads me. It's almost like those games, the snake ladder game, the snake board, and you throw the dice and you get to one point, and when you get to the snake, you come all the way back down, maybe because you asked the wrong question, which led you to the wrong answer. In a way, I'm just using that as an example, but I think the language of the unknown mustn't be disregarded. Because it's unfamiliar to me, it doesn't mean that it can be known. Someone's already understood it, but I can understand it. And when I commit to the journey, I might not understand that lingo there, that language of this person. You come to a table of all these smart people and you might feel like the person who is out of place. And you're not part of that discussion straight away. And immediately you realize that this is a room full of people who are here and you are here. Don't let that discourage you. Sit with them. Hear the terms, hear them talk, hear whatever. Make notes. Be the apprentice, be the disciple, be the willing learner. Because gradually what they say is going to rub off. Gradually you're going to understand. Spend enough time with wisdom and your understanding will become in itself deep wells. Spend enough time with knowledge and information and your understanding will become a master of what it didn't know. It will become a master of what it knows. And that master in himself will then become the teacher of what he knows or she knows. There are certain levels of language that I am starting to learn through my own personal journey. I'm starting to learn and I'm going, when I learn that word, so this is the part why I'm saying this. When I finally learn that word, I learn the significance of that word and why it was used, why it was said to me by that person at that level. Because that person was giving me high level keys. That person didn't hold back to give me something worth less than its value. That person came out and immediately gave me diamond and gold. He said, here's what you need. But I didn't understand it where I was at. Because to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good, looks good. When I start to grow in my growth, that's when I realized I needed that knowledge. That's when I realized I needed to apply that knowledge. When you start to grow as a business too, and your business arm grows and your business arm expands, that means you have to adopt new systems that cater for that new growth, right? There will be a level where your growth stops because the system you currently have cannot carry it more than that now. So then you have to now, if you want to go the next level, you have to create a new system. You have to change something in the old system. That system includes the way you think, the way you run things, and adopt new things, and make those things your new thinking, your new way of doing things. Bring them into your new cycle, your new growth level. Adopt them. Have understanding of why this is done. And I talked a little bit about models, people modeling it for you. I'm referring to those people who model that thought for you. They're here and you're here. And you're watching them, and they are like those mentors we were talking about, that you can look and go, okay, I think that's a good mentor. I think what they're saying is true, and I can follow that for a time, for a season, until I grasp enough information to come off my own training wheels, so to speak, and jump in fully as one who can manage it at that level. Growth is a journey. Yeah, and one of the things that I personally have experienced, this is true. Anyone who understands this one, I tell you, you're gonna move things. You're gonna move mountains that are in the way. There is a resource, there is an asset you haven't yet bought that's supposed to be a part of your equipment. You follow? That's supposed to be a part of your new system, because the system is represented or is sustained by its assets, by its resources. And if, say, for example, someone wants to do YouTube, okay, yeah, phone, and your mind goes, yeah, great, you can achieve a certain level of professionalism with your phone. If you really have a good phone, you know. And so if that's the mindset of someone who wants to go there, don't buy a cheap phone.
No.
Let the new phone you buy, it might cost you more, let it represent your progress. Let your asset represent your progress. Like we invested in this camera that's now taking these sessions, right? That's representing the progress. That asset now become useful as a tool and an open door to the net and supporting the growth. The asset you attain is the same asset that's going to support your growth, speed up your growth, encourage your growth, promote your growth, push you in the direction you need to go.
That's right.
And so I only get an asset, or you get an asset to use it for your growth.
That's right.
But when you get an asset and it's not used for your growth, the foolish thing is getting an asset and not having any use for it. That's the foolish thing. So then it's like I was saying about the starting point, deciding at the starting point. What are my immediate assets? Because those are the things that are going to open the door to the floodgate of my opportunity.
Right.
They're going to allow me to begin to taste the waters of goodness, the progress of my abundance. They allow me to step into the field, to breathe the air of newness, that I sense opportunity within my stride, only because I have allowed certain assets that are going to push me in that direction.
Yes.
A fisherman can't go to the deep ocean, you know, if he doesn't have a boat and he doesn't have all the fishing gear. You know, I'm using that same analogy too. Again here. And the same with investment. Whatever the investment objective is, requires systems, but those systems are supported by assets, resources that lead you in that direction. If something works, you double down on it, meaning you put more, you give more attention to it, you focus on it, and you start working that process, because it's working for you. It seems to be the right process. You put more energy and more focus into it, because then it's your leverage, it's your opportunity now that's working in your favor.
Right.
And I think when people say I'm looking for a break, they're looking for that, where they can find where it starts to work for them and they start to double down on it. Some people let go of that.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's not the way my business is run. They are judging that opportunity by their previous system.
That's right.
You follow? And they're like, oh, no, but maybe it's a sign that you've just hit a new level of growth.
That's right.
So then the question you then ask is, should I be accommodating that new experience? Is it an opportunity that I could venture out into? And there's no harm in venturing out if you've already learned the principle if you mastered the art of venturing out. You become a risk taker in a way that you know how